Money is leaving equities. It's gone. But the stock market is up. In fact, the market has risen every single month in 2017. Here we are in 2018, and the previous 12 months, we have seen consistent record highs. So how can this be? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. What am I talking about here? How is it possible that we have seen month after month after month of the stock market breaking record highs, and yet I've told you that money's leaving the market? How is that possible? Well, there are two reasons I believe this is occurring. Let's get into that today. U.S. equity flows. This is calculated by ICI, and you may have heard of them before. They've shown us that there is $200 billion plus, which have left the market in equities over the past few years. It's a continuing trend. So what am I discussing with you today? Well, the 1-year chart on the S&P shows us that there has been a continuous increase in the prices we have seen. Equities have risen. Equities continue to rise. They've been doing so since 2009, but especially in 2017, actually doing what it has never done before, and every single month it has been in the green. So this is very confusing to some. Look at this, the poster child for US equities, Amazon. Month after month after month in 2017, increasing. And that's what happens. A lot of money has been poured in to Amazon stock. This is just one example. And now, the question is, why? As I said, I believe there are two reasons. Let's talk about one. Stock buybacks. This is huge. This is absolutely very, very integral to what has happened in the stock market over these past few years. There were $120 billion in buybacks in the entire second quarter of 2017 among all companies. The new figure, $70 billion in just 10 days from just 29 companies. This is all because of the changes in the tax law, and they believe that this is a beneficial time to do so and basically engage in this stock buybacks. It's going at a rapid rate now. I'm going to definitely continue to cover this. There's more into this article here, but I essentially just wanted to tell you that I propose to you what we have is an increase in the stock buybacks from historically what they would have been, and it continues to escalate. As time goes on, we are seeing companies engaging in more and more stock buybacks in general. Okay? Doesn't mean that necessarily one particular company has to buy more every month. No, I'm talking about the market as a whole. These companies continue to do this. I've been covering this now for years. And this is a way that they can basically push the prices up, and yet you have actually money flowing out. It's something very interesting. To me, it's really putting up big question marks, and I need to start piecing together things. Where is the money flowing into? How much is exactly is flowing out? Where is it going, and everything else? I want to know all the details of that, and of course, as I find it all and dig it all up, I will definitely bring that to you. But it's just interesting to see this. I've never seen this being covered out there in the mainstream media, of course, and we won't see that, but it's just something to think about, right? Now, what are the other reasons? Well, let's just take a look at this. Velocity of M2 money stock. When I saw this chart, I thought it was incredible to see where the money has gone. You can see that since the year 2000, the velocity continues to decline. And this is one of the most important indicators, by the way, of the health of an economy. The way that this monetary system works, for better or for worse, The money needs to continuously change hands. It's called currency for a reason. There needs to be current. There needs to be a flow. And it needs to go from your hand to the next person's hand to the next person's hand. And basically what this means is a simplified example is you get paid from your employer. They pay you. You take that money out of your bank. You go to the store. You give your dollar. You buy the pack of gum. Then he takes the money from the cash register. He deposits it in his bank. Then he takes it out and he moves it to another institution and goes over to buy some, iPod, and then that money goes somewhere else, and it just flows and flows and flows. So that $1 is basically changing hands consistently around. And that's very, very important for this fraudulent monetary system. So this has been declining ever since the year 2000, and it continues to happen. You can see what has happened particularly since the financial crisis. And it just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. And this fact is right from the Federal Reserve itself. So we know this is accurate data, at least from what we can get. The money is not changing hands. People are parking it places, and that's not good for the system. So, understand what has happened with central banks. They've been printing up a lot of money, and they have admitted in some cases, to buying shares. I would again propose to you that there are some instances of central banks printing money, not disclosing it, and buying equities. That's what I think is happening here. They are doing so under the table. It's not showing up on the books, and yet we are seeing it happen with the stock prices. Think about it. Look at what's happening with the velocity. Look at what is happening with the equity flows. Look at what's going on with the balance sheets. Then you see the stock prices putting every piece together. And of course, everything else I've talked about, everything else you've probably seen elsewhere on the alternative news and everything. Something doesn't add up. And I'm just here to say, look, there's a big question mark here. I don't know really what's going on. This is what I think is happening, and it's just something to think about. I hope you appreciate that. The way I see it is something is really messed up. They're hiding something from us. We can take little puzzle pieces, piece it together, and in between that, we're drawing inferences. So, I'll leave it at that. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. I try to bring you some information that is relevant to you in your own investments, in your own life, even if you're not really invested in any particular market. One way, shape, or form, a lot of people, they're relying on a pension, they have a retirement accounts. So I do believe that everybody should attain some level of financial knowledge, and that's what I aim to do. So again, hope you appreciate that. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment on this video. That helps to boost these videos up higher into the YouTube search rankings as we make our way past 80,000 subscribers soon, and I'm hoping that we can get this channel to 100,000 subscribers. And so you can support me by just putting a general comment, even just to help me out. If you don't want to say anything necessarily, just put comments, subscribe to the channel, and please, let's get this message out there. Share it on your Facebook and your Twitter and your YouTube and everything else that you can do. I appreciate that. Thank you. And last but not least, if you found the video informative, I know that you will find my books, The Money GPS and my newer release, Global Economic Collapse, even more informative. You can flip through these books at Amazon. The links are in the description below. Take care. Okay, since I still have you here, I found this little piece of information which will add to the rest. Stock buybacks are obviously taking place, and you can see here that since the start of the month, we're talking about December, at least 32 US companies have announced share buybacks of $100 million or more. This includes Home Depot's $15 billion, Oracle's $12 billion, and so on. We can see significant amounts of money being put into this, and I do believe this is important. It's not being discussed enough. They have said throughout 2017 that things were looking like the share buybacks were decreasing, and I think that was just temporary. you can see here that this is really going to escalate. And of course, this pushes shares higher. Some people may see this as an opportunity. Other people, like myself, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to be realistic about it. Why are shares going higher? There are many different reasons, ultimately central bank intervention, and don't forget about stock buybacks. So if you stayed to the end of the video, you got that piece of information. That's all. Just wanted to say that. Take care.